I am Mark Henry, born in 1955, but I'm not going to tell you how old I am, although you can work it out. All my life, I worked with my mother in the catering. You know, my mother, she was an actual school teacher, but she did lots and lots of catering, and I assisted her, and I loved it. My very first job was to work the telephones at a place called Ackerman's Properties. And I left there, and then I went to work in a shop, and I did night classes for catering purposes, and I became a chef. And I worked in some of the beautiful restaurants in Cape Town. Mombasa, there was a restaurant in town, I can't remember the name. And then I was at church one day, and the minister's wife, I actually got sick. I had a brain tumor where I had to actually, couldn't work anymore. And from that day onwards, I did casualing, you know, job here and a job there. Then it so happened that I was starting to struggle, and the minister's wife, she spoke to me and she said to me, "Mark, why don't you come up to Stepping Stones, Albertus Road, to the children's creche there we run, and become the chef there?" And I took that job. Oh, I prepared nutritious meals for these children. It was a joy working with children. And then, of course, I worked there until I was in my 60s.
Okay.
And I gave it up because I was now on pension. And I read stories to the centre of the book, the ECD Reading Centre in Queen Victoria Street. I tell stories there. I actually write a lot of stories in my actual mind. I tell stories of how, when my little niece was born, that is 26 years ago, and she was born, and I wrote a story called The Blackbird of Savannah for her. That's all in my mind still.
What is it about?
It's about a prince that was actually captured, who was Savannah's friend in the story, and a witch turned him into a little bird and then said to this bird, "I will change you back into a little prince, but you have to steal for me jewels." And she didn't. And then one day he stole Princess Savannah's necklace, because he thought this is going to be a lot of money for that witch, and stole it, and she still didn't change it. But then he took it back, and of course the story goes on, and she catches him, but she follows him on her stick. And I shouldn't actually tell you the story. You know why? Because I'm going to get it printed one day. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It ends quite well. And then for Mia, I wrote the Mia and Unicorn. This little girl her mother was not allowed to cut her hair, and her hair grew long and long, and she didn't know why she couldn't cut it. And then one day she was in the woods and she had a cry, and when she went down deep in a well, there was a little unicorn that was stuck, and the only way that she could get it out was to throw her plait, her hair in it, and the unicorn got out, and the two of them became friends. So those are that stories.
How did you get into storytelling?
Center of the book, the reading center. I tell stories to the children are between 3 and 6 years old. But you know what a joy it is when a child comes up to you and the child says, Uncle knows. When Uncle tells a story, then Uncle's eyes twinkle. You want to hear one of my little stories?
Of course, yeah.
I think I will do The Star of the Zoo. Is that okay?
Yes.
The Star of the Zoo was written by Virginia Zorscher and Daniel Howarth. High up in the sky, little star was shining bright like a diamond. And down below, all the animals were getting ready to go and sleep, when suddenly little Star lost her balance, and down, down, down like a shooting star she fell. Ouch! She got hurt. And then Lion said, "Oh, what was all that noise about?" And then Mrs. Giraffe pushed her head up high and said, "Oh, well, let me go and see. Maybe we can help." And then they got there. Little Star was crying. "I have to get back in the sky, because if I don't, I'm never going to shine like a diamond." The Lion said, "I am the strongest animal of the zoo." And he picked her up. He said, "I will get you back into the sky." He climbed on a rock, another rock, another rock. But he couldn't get her back into the sky. Little Ant was watching this, and Little Ant said, "Lion, I can help." You're far too small. No ways can you do it." Monkey started laughing. "I can do it. I'm Monkey, and I am the best climber of the zoo." Picking a star up, he climbed into a tree, then another tree, and another tree, and another tree, swinging from branch to branch, high up, but he couldn't get her back into the sky. Little Ant was watching, and Little Ant said, "Monkey, Monkey, give me a chance. I think I can do it." "No, no, 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 you can't, you're too small." Mrs. Giraffe pushed her head up high, stretched her legs and said, "I am Mrs. Giraffe, and I am the tallest animal of the zoo. Let me do it." She picked the star up, and she stretched her neck, stretched her legs, but still didn't happen. And then Ant said, "Please, please, I have a plan. Let me try." And Lion then said, "Well, if you think you can do it, then do it." Little Ant disappeared, but came back, not with 10 ants, not with 100 ants, but thousands and thousands of her friends. She picked up Little Star and climbed onto her friend's back, and that ant on another ant, and then another, and then another, and another, and another. Little Star screamed, "You did it! You did it! And you did it! I'm back in the sky." And all the animals in the zoo wondered, "Oh, Little Ant, how did you do it?" And then Little Ant said, "You may be little, but if you work together, you can achieve many things." That night, Little Star shone bright like a diamond. And down below, all the animals, including Little Ant, fell fast asleep. I like to choose stories that has a meaning. And obviously you know what the meaning there is. Never mind who you are. If you work together, you can achieve good things.
Beautiful.
I always choose stories that has meaning, you know. Well, with all that also, I'm sure you'd like to know, how come I'm here at NOAH?
Yeah, I would love to know more about it.
Well, obviously being a chef, being, you know, brought up doing good things, you've got a lot of money. And this message I really want to pass on to all the younger generation, because I didn't think I was going to get old. My pension fund and all that, I knew I was going to get it. But was that going to help me? I mean, I'll just give you an example. My brother, my entire family, before my parents died, they decided to give each of us a good sum of money. And my brothers and the rest of my family, they took their money. My brother, for example, went to his boss and said, "What can I do with this?" And he looked at my brother and he said, "Why don't you invest it in the company? You know, make shares." And then, my brother today is the sole owner of this company. And they bought the building as well, you know what I mean? So, at least that was something. What did Mark do?
What did you do?
Mark lived in Marina de Gama by the ocean. Mark spent money. I mean, he'd go to the fair and he would pay for all his friends. But when he got actually sick, none of those friends came here. Only one, actually. There was one that stuck by me, Charles. But the others just disappeared and floated away, where I lost everything. I mean, I let my friends take my cars, ride around, do things. When I got my pension fund because I couldn't work anymore, I was in hospital, I spent money, you know? So I shouldn't have done that. I should have invested until, and also, I mean, my family was very much prepared to support me, but I wanted the independence. So I saw, actually through the same principle of stepping stones, she knew the position I was in and that I was now going on pension. She told me about Noah's place, and I came here for an interview, and thank heavens I got it. I got in, and what a joy. Look, if you sit and think about it, there's how many different, it's like a story. Every page is different. So in this house particular, every page or every person is different. So you yourself is going to get along with that person. I maintained that if, for example, I want to be treated nice, then I must treat you nice.
Absolutely.
You know? So if everybody has that way of life or that way of thinking, then I think that it's a good thing.
So you enjoy living in a community?
I enjoy living in the community and doing things in the community, with the community. I'm also very proud to be a action group member.
What is the action group for the audience?
The action group is a group of people from NOAH, where we sit and we arrange things with one of the NOAH employees. We sit and we work out things that can be done. Like, for example, if there's an event, we will organize it. The candle making, we hope to get storytelling involved as well, you know, because as much as a little child can enjoy a story, I'm sure an old person can enjoy a story as well. And I'm telling you, we have talented people, singers, guitar players, musicians. Well,
yeah, please tell them that all people still are active and can do something. Extremely active. And you know what would be nice also is when you get involved with, like one day, just come and spend some time with an older person. Then when your grannies and grandpas are our age, you will know how to handle them. So it's a nice learning stage. It's also, if you are talented in a certain way, I think it's a way that one can give back. You know, the most important thing also is the value of giving back, but also not the I did it. We. Little Ant did not do it on his own. Little Ant took a group, and then Little Ant did it. So even if I'm the only person telling the story, I cannot sit in front of the mirror and tell a story. I've got to do it to a group. And it depends how that group takes it. So doesn't it make it more valuable? So we are giving back. This is especially to the young people out there. My mother used to sit on a couch and the phone rings. She gets up and she walks to the phone, speaks on the phone, puts the phone down, and she walks normally back to her couch and she sits down again. And I used to say, Mommy, you almost crippled the way you walked and now you're walking fine. What is it with you? And now, today I do the exact same thing. I'm sitting and when I get up, if I sat too long, I could hardly walk. And then after a few minutes, I'm walking normal. And then all I could say is, oh, Mommy, I'm so sorry I did that. Respect, because more important than anything else, you're going to get old. And I think the more you give when you're young, the more you're going to get when you're an older person. And I am so lucky that I get. You know, it is,
I thought about it. I was a bit nervous, and I thought, oh, but then I thought about it. It's a story that possible could help someone else.
Yes, maybe they're living in a similar situation.
That's right. That's
And
right.
you tell your story and they can learn from
Yes.
it. That's what I tell you. Listen to your elders because they have so much to tell. Like I'm sitting here, I could listen to this for hours.
Oh, thank
And
you.
just having the life experience.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. It's important also to know the facts that life doesn't, when you're younger, life doesn't always go the same.
Is there some other advice you want to give to people?
Just look after yourself. I tell this to many people, be who you are and shine. And by you being who you are, you shine sometimes so bright that your light goes to the next person as well, and they can carry it on. And someone else will share that light. And it might not be known to you, but your light is shining in someone else's life as well, from one person to another.
Thanks so much for being
More than
here.
a pleasure.
Thanks
More
for
than
the
a pleasure.
interview. And I hope you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. Yes,
Yeah?
I really did.
I hope they did that too.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah?
I didn't go too long, eh?
No, no.
Oh, my nerves.